Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Would you please give a warm welcome to the hosts of the SWA Happy Hour, Dom and Chris.
Hey, everybody. I forgot how to turn it off, Chris.
Well, you figured it out.
I was trying to bring this up while it was still going, but I think I got confused. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our happy hour. I'm feeling happy. Are you feeling happy, Chris?
I am totally feeling happy.
Well, that's wonderful to hear.
Yep,
Especially you've been having a rough go of it late, haven't you?
Technology hates me.
It certainly does. It's the hair.
With a passion.
Technology does not like long hairs.
I guess not. No, my Mac is in the shop. It's not feeling well, but
so you have absconded the wife's laptop in the name of music.
Exactly, which is always fun. A lifelong Mac guy trying to run a PC. So this will be entertaining.
Now, you also said you got a new internet provider.
I did, but man, hard to tell because the Mac was acting up. It does not seem to be faster. I'm glad I have a 30-day free trial on it because it did not seem to be an improvement, quite honestly.
I will say this. I watched your little practice live stream. The video quality was consistent. It was good.
Yes.
So maybe you don't have, it's not faster, but it seemed more stable. The mic still had a little bit of the
yeah, well,
but nowhere near as bad.
I'm going to do another test tomorrow. That was actually on my wife's PC.
Right.
And it was just using the built-in mic because it didn't recognize the Yeti mic until I got playing tonight. And so I'm going through the Yeti now. So
the bat signal?
Yeah, radar light ring starting in 20 minutes, possibly stopping within the next hour. So hey, here in Colorado, you got to have the weather alerts. So, you can see rain, hail, tornadoes, sunshine, forest fires, snowstorm, and flash flood all in the same day.
Yeah, well, that's what you get for living out west, man.
Well, it's wonderful. Country. It's wonderful, but there are downsides.
Is that your backyard?
No, this is not my backyard. This is up in the hills a little bit.
Okay. As you can tell, I am broadcasting from Canada this evening.
I see that. Yes. Make sure your hair doesn't catch on fire.
No, I don't know if you heard, but it was on the news today that they're suffering now with massive shortages in Canada. They have no more marshmallows, graham crackers, or Hershey bars.
Oh no! It's a crisis.
It would be.
Parliament.
That's in my house. Well, up in Pennsylvania, we live on it.
That's
we
what we're
have
talking
those
about.
little. We have those little s'mores toasters. It's like these little cages you can put them in and just easily turn it. I think it's pretty cool. My kids hate it. They like doing it on sticks.
Well, that's how I did it when I was a kid.
I know. I'm a gadget guy. If there is a gadget for something, and it could suck. It could be the worst gadget in the world, but goddamn it, if I bought it, I'm going to use it.
Well, because I'm growing up camping with my old man, my gadget was here's a pocket knife. Go make a stick. Good luck.
You're in North Cal there, David? Like that's where G-May is, right? Speaking of, who went to Stonerfest? That Stonerfest was pretty damn good. Oh yeah, that's right.
I was there.
Saw you there. Yeah, that's right. You did a wonderful job.
Oh, thank you. I got to say, I had the time of my life because, I got to hang backstage and everything. And the artists on Stonerfest, everybody brought their A+ game. I mean, they were all great artists, every one of them. But every one of them played as well as I've ever heard them play that night.
Yeah,
it was really top to bottom.
I'll be a little douchebag controversial. Say they were great. Everyone was great except one person. No, it really was. It was nonstop. I mean, from Brad leading off to friggin' Jade finishing. Woof-ah.
Yeah. And Gladys Worthington.
Yeah. Oh, what the hell happened? Was it? I meant to ask her. Did she something happen on her end, or was G-May just
It was,
G-Man.
well, she had to do the costume change, to get into character there. And then it did cut off just a little early. It was supposed to cut off abruptly, and I think it cut off about 5 to 10 seconds before it was supposed to. But
Okay. It was
minor things
hysterical.
like that. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Jade's that Gladys Worthington character cracks me
Oh
up.
my God, it's hysterical. It's kind of like she's like an R-rated version of what was the name from the Golden Girls?
Yeah.
I don't. I mean,
Estelle Getty was the actress. I can't think of her character's name.
Who was the youngest out of all of them, which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So let's see who's here this evening, Chris, and say hello.
All right, let's do that. Well, scrolling up, we saw Tom Purcell.
He was here at like 5:20.
Yeah, he was chomping at the bit. He couldn't wait for this show. So all I got to say to that, A, we love you, Tom, and B, get a life. Good Lord.
I know, man. Yeah. This is like pathetic. That's what we're just going to make fun of anybody who's here this evening. Like, what the hell?
Silver Girl. Well, we're not going to make fun of her.
No. We don't make fun of women.
David from Live to Fly channel.
What's going on, David?
Good to see him. Our buddy Chad, who will be up later.
Hey, wait, while we're still on David. David, show your head. The guitar player's not showing their head thing should be done. Show your damn head.
Yes. I want to see your head.
That's all I have to say about it.
I mean, the most famous Colorado band of all, Big Head Todd and the Monsters. I mean, hello, show your head.
And we have Chatters here. Chad must still be at work.
Yep. Yeah. He said he would be on about 11, and he's got some news, some breaking news for us.
Chad
apparently.
is our official news correspondent. He will bring in all the news that's fit to tell.
Indeed. Lord Spike Protein, good to see you, sir.
What's going on, Lord Spike Protein? How you doing, pal?
All right. And another esteemed
Viv Sparrow is here.
Hi, Viv.
She was, we were like, are you, I don't know if she's still at home. Are you still at home, Viv? Because we were at one point like 20 minutes away from each other. And then we went, hey.
And passed in the night. And hey, our buddy Hugh.
Yeah. Oh, what's going on, Huge? And yeah, Viv, I have seen that gadget guy on YouTube, and I love his show. They used to have one on TV. Man, I can't tell you how many stupid things I bought. I think gadgets are so neat. Half of them they break.
Yeah, I like some gadgets.
Yeah.
See, my love for gadgets fights with my innate cheapness. It's like, okay, if I buy something, I want to get a lot of use out of it.
Okay.
Then I feel.
Well, that's why Italians and Irish are good together, because my wife, she watches The Wallet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, check it out. Making it rain.
Yeah, that could be a problematic.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a problem.
Yeah, well, I'm married to an accountant, so yeah, we.
Well, I'm an accountant too. Just
yeah. Well, there's two kinds of accountants, I guess.
Yeah, I'm a Fugazi accountant. I keep the other set of books.
Yeah. The other books.
Yeah, the other books. Let's see.
Left-handed screwdriver. Yeah, you got to have one of those, because you never know when you're going to have to unscrew a thread.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am looking forward to finishing that song too, Viv. Yes, you are annoying me about it, but that's right. You have to, because I'm the worst. I do tell everyone I collaborate with I'm pathetic.
Yeah.
As soon as I'm in a collaboration, it's the last thing in the world I want to do. I don't know what it is. It just happens every time.
I love it, and I jump on it, and then sometimes, well, like poor lady wrote a line. I am jamming her up so bad, because I'll make a little progress on the song we're doing together, and then I've got a computer thing, and I got to shut everything down, and blah blah blah, and so. Well, that was the one thing I told the computer guy today. I said, I know you back up the data. I said, I care about the data, but I really care about GarageBand. There's stuff in there that I care about. So yeah, do your best.
I told you I'm having this weird problem where in GarageBand I can only access my recent. It's not letting me open something in the folder. So I had to wind up make a new folder on my desktop and drag it out, and
I was reading some other guys were having an issue with that. So something's going on there, and I'm not sure what.
This happened. The problem happened once before, and I fixed it. I just, of course, made no recollection of what I did. I was just,
I hate that.
So yeah, somehow I changed something, and the way it's going into the folder, you can see the files, they just won't open. So
yeah, GarageBand
Pocket Fisherman. I remember that thing.
Oh, Popeil's Pocket Fisherman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I see. I get it from my dad. My dad once bought us fishing poles from back of a comic book.
See, that's now I didn't have any of that because I come from a family of hardcore fishermen. My grandfather, I swear he could catch trout in a parking lot. And my dad, my brother are fly fishermen and float, up in Montana and Idaho and all that. And man, it's not my thing. Just not a fishing guy.
Mm-hmm. Dave, man, you can't say you won't mention names. We want names. I'll tell you who's waiting on me. Viv Sparrow's waiting on me. We're doing a duet of an original song of mine that we kind of co-wrote together. Naya has been patiently waiting for me for like 6 or 7 months, so we can finish Dancing with the Witch Part 2. And Lori's Mishmash is waiting for me. We're doing a cover of Fly Me to the Moon. And so it's kind of neat. All these women waiting for me.
Yeah. Don't get used to it, pal.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, no, I'm holding Lady up a little bit, but I'm pretty close on that one. And then I'm doing something with Lori. And actually, we were waiting on somebody else. And we got word today that they're like, yeah, why don't you guys just finish it? I'm out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she and I corresponded a little bit, so we'll do.
Well, you know what it is? I'm big with the idea of collaborating, just very bad on the execution.
I feel you. Well, and I was so jammed up with work the past 60 days that I just haven't had a chance to do much of anything. I was just starting to get back and doing a little recording, and then again, I was cleaning up files today, and it said do the update because you got a security update. And I dutifully loaded the security update, and that was it. The Mac said, "Yeah, I'm out. I'm not going to boot. Sorry."
Fuck this. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
I know it's basically finish, Viv. I know. Yeah.
Just ride him, Viv. I mean, just nag him.
But she may as well enjoy it. Excuse me.
To your question, Hugh, this one's been on the back burner so friggin' long. I don't remember. Probably. I mean, you're in everybody's collaboration, Hugh. So chances are, yes. This was one that I was just going to do the bass and the backing vocals to. Well, now I'm going to end up doing the lead vocals. So.
Oh, that's right. The three of us have another collaboration too, but that one's
yes,
on you.
we do.
That one I'm waiting on you.
You're waiting on me.
I've done my part.
Yes, yeah, that's one. That one's on me too.
Yeah.
Project 29. I think I've got some lyrics that I think you're gonna like, and I just gotta sit down and sing them.
We're gonna leave it that you know how when you start something and you forget to name it, and it just so I have one called Project 29, and it's almost like 4 minutes, I think, right? So it's pretty much a full song.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do with it, so I gave it to Chris and to Hugh to play more guitar on it. But I was like, the only thing is like, I want the name to be Project 29.
And
it
kind of works.
So mysterious.
Yeah. So we're gonna wander around in space in Project 29.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking, Hugh. Yes. Yep, that's the one, Hugh. Yeah, our friend up in Oregon said he has declined to finish his end of it. And he just said, you guys do it. So
just totally bail.
Yeah. And again,
was it a hurtful bail or?
No, nothing like that. He just felt like he had a level of expectation of performance and he didn't feel like he was getting there. And I understand that. I think he was probably being a little hard on himself, but as a performer, you've got to be comfortable with what you're presenting. And if it's not happening for you, I can respect that.
Yeah, to an extent. Like, I mean, I try to be as good as I can be, but then again, I ain't getting paid. Like,
Yeah.
and it's all for fun.
Well,
So,
exactly. At some point, you go, this is as good as I'm capable
yeah,
of doing right now.
every
So, okay, I'm done.
every project I've ever done ends with those words. All right,
Yes.
I'm done.
That's where it is right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. And certainly I listen back on things and go, I could have done that better. But
every song I've listened to, I kind of feel that way.
But the reality is, no, at that point in time, you couldn't do better. That was as good as you could do that day or that week or whatever. And so it was time to move on, and you learned from it, and the next one's better. That's just how you have to look at it. But yeah, you're right, Hugh. I was all done too. My video was shot and everything, and now I got more video to shoot and more vocals to do and mix. So there's that.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So here's my idea. Here's my pitch. So you know how a lot of us, there's so many people playing live in live streams and stuff. We've all encountered when just everything goes wrong, no matter how well prepared you are.
Yes.
Sometimes you're going to forget the words to your own song. Sometimes the green screen is going to fall on you while you're playing.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's happened. Drop your pick, spill a drink, unplug your guitar. Just a myriad of things that can happen. So I was thinking, what if people wanted to, that on this show we would do like the train wreck of the week, and if someone felt so inclined, in the spirit of good fun, if someone felt so inclined, oh God, that was terrible, and then send us the song, and then we'll play and all have a laugh about it on the show. Because the thing is, it happens. It happens to everybody.
Yep.
And maybe the best way to not worry about is to just laugh at it, because
that's all you can do.
Yeah. So that's one of my ideas. That's my future idea for the show. This show again is going to be about things we plan on doing.
Yes, exactly. We may not actually do
we
it.
may
but,
never
but
do
we
any
plan
of these
to do
things,
some really cool things.
And I think that's good enough. Having a good, solid plan.
Well, you know what?
That's half the battle.
Those who fail to plan to fail. So we've at least planned something.
Oh, Chris, I just got a notification that we are on YouTube. And you left me a voicemail. Oh, that was about that thing.
Yes, yeah, because my Mac was dead, I didn't have the link.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell you were talking about.
Yeah, well, I figured like, there was a mystery, link. And that's why I sent you the voicemail. Like, dude, I got no Mac, so I got no link.
Yeah, I don't help a brother out. Yeah. So that's one of my ideas. I think it would be kind of funny, and it's it doesn't have to be like every week, but if someone really botches, I mean, I could probably fill it every week myself.
Me too.
And if not me, then definitely you.
Well, the song I've been practicing "Faded" because I really am going to nail that on Steve Harloa's show on the 22nd.
When you're on the 22nd,
that was I'm on the 22nd. That is a song that I have played live 5 times now, and I've played it twice.
Yeah.
The other times I either botched something. The one time and this was on G-Maze, I had a total. I'm playing along.
I remember that. Yeah, you just did the
nothing. I couldn't remember the lyrics, and then as I'm struggling with the lyrics, I forgot how to play it. I'm like,
well, that was just it kept it was like a snowball coming down a mountain,
and
you couldn't navigate yourself out of it either. You were just like stuck in the zone.
I was done. I mean, I've never vapor locked that badly.
If you were
no lyrics, no music, nothing.
If you were performing at a Shakespearean theater, people would have been throwing tomatoes at you for sure.
Absolutely. Like, we paid for this. Yeah, it was. And again, no reason for it, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah. I've never heard you botch, Dave. I mean, I think you're a pretty damn solid guitar player.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
put yourself down a lot, but and you play really well. I think
Yeah.
so anyway.
Well, I do too. I very much like David's playing, and I like the songs he chooses because I think he does a good job choosing things that are well suited for his vocal range,
Mm-hmm.
and that's important.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of great songs, but there's some songs that they're too low for me, and I really can't
Right.
sing them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And obviously the converse is I was on a show, and it was a one of these karaoke / live performance combo shows, and I won't name the show, but there was a fellow that came on and he decided he was going to do some Queen. Well, if you're going to do Queen, you've got to be not only a good singer, you got to be a great singer and go up from there. And this gentleman was not a great singer,
Well, I mean, it starts off
and
just
it was
on
just a
this.
poor song choice.
Yeah, it just starts off. Anyone who says proudly they're gonna sing a Queen song, you kind of know. There's an 80% chance, maybe 85.
Yeah, good luck with that.
It's only good in their own head.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that most people are just going to go to.
No, and it's not even the range thing. I mean, Mercury had an unbelievable range, but where people go horribly wrong is his interval jumps are
Yeah,
astounding.
crazy. Yeah,
And most people just can't make those kind of jumps cleanly,
right.
which is why he was one of the greatest.
That he was.
Yeah.
That he was.
Yeah, he was awesome. I loved Queen, man. I wore out Day at the Races and Night at the Opera in high school.
I was not the biggest fan, believe it or not. Not the biggest fan.
No, I can say. I mean, again, they and 100% honesty, as big a fan as I am of them, they had a lot of songs that were kind of turds.
Yeah, I mean, everyone did. Everyone does.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, at that
except
era,
us.
there was a
make
lot of
great
pressure to
music.
put stuff on the album, and if you had 9 songs on an album, 5 of them were pretty good, and then you had 2 that were like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but
And
let's also not forget, like, look at us people, like, we're all hanging out in our house, taking months to write
Right,
a song.
exactly.
These people, like, all right, we book a studio in 2 weeks, the album has to be done, and most times they went nothing, so
yeah, because they were touring and they didn't have time to write.
exactly,
So,
they were never, yeah.
yeah.
I don't think maybe I could do that because I found some of my better songs I've completed in an afternoon.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen that often.
Well, that's why, they always talked about the sophomore slump for artists. They'd come out with this killer first album and
Right.
everybody'd go nuts. And then they go on tour and they had that big buildup. And then the record company wanted a second album right away and they didn't have time to write. And so a lot of times the second album, Name the Band, was just probably not as good because they didn't have years of material. They had
well, that's
a couple months.
That's also the band's kind of own overeagerness. They should have held stuff back,
Yeah, well, yeah, tough. I mean, when they start throwing money at you and you get signed and everything, you want to put your best foot forward. And of course, you had demo tapes. That's why you got signed. So the record company knows your stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, that really good song you signed us for. Yeah, we're not putting this on the album.
Right.
What?
Night at the Opera was in the first album.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. He's very Wayne's World really did hurt that song for a while. It put it in like the Freebird and Stairway to Heaven category,
Yeah, a little bit. But again, it kind of repopularized them and exposed them to a new audience. So it was a mixed bag. So
yeah,
I mean, agree.
It definitely did that, but it way overplayed it.
Well,
but, that's like it's it's a different kind of song. That's not a listening for enjoyment song per se. It's like that's like listening to Frank Zappa. You listen to Frank Zappa because you want to hear what he's gonna do. You don't listen to it because he's got a good beat. No, because his beats change all over the place. Hey, we need an xylophone. We need a tuba. So that's why you listen to it for that purpose. Anyway, that's
Yeah.
what I think. But what do
Yeah.
I know?
Well,
I'm just some schmuck from Yonkers.
some schmuck from Yonkers, indeed.
So we have another song this week.
We have a treat for you people.
Yeah.
Again, we've been exposing through the shows
Don't use the
people in
word exposing.
SWA.
Don't
Well,
use the
yeah.
word exposing. That I
We-
get a lot of
yeah.
trouble.
Yeah, we're not exposing anything, but
Nothing shall be exposed.
the bench of SWA is a lot deeper than people realize. And there are people that maybe don't put out stuff, or they're not as well known for various reasons. And this gentleman that we're going to meet with tonight is one of those. He's a commercial airline pilot and has been training and flying around. And so he doesn't have opportunity to come on as often, but we are very privileged to have him tonight. And he's got a brand new song, and we're going to play it for you guys right now.
Once I can, okay, that's my job. All right, so we are going to play a song by Mike Haggoth. It's brand new. We only heard it today. Today. Well, no, I heard it yesterday. I heard it, and then I heard it again. Then I sent it to you. It's a new song called Carousel. That is what we're going to do now.
Enjoy, people. We'll see you in 5 minutes or 4 minutes.
Yes, I'm talking what I'm doing out loud. Share screen. Okay.
Times
Outstanding. You're muted, Dom.
I keep getting freaked out with the if you don't shut off YouTube, like you hear it, but it's no longer shared, so
Yeah.
no one else hears it. But anyway, so we are happy to have Mr. Mike with us, so I am going to bring him up. How you doing there, Mike Haggith?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Good to see you.
You too.
Great to see you, Mike.
Yeah.
Right on.
Mike has been in Songwriters Anonymous. You've been in a while, and he came in about a week later. He said he was switching jobs. He was going to flight school, and then he got married. He moved. He became a pilot, right? So we have not seen you in no, we've seen you. You always pop in now and then and go, guys, I'm going to work on music soon. But I would just like to point out that I believe your life really took off because you joined Songwriters Anonymous. That's my takeaway, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
didn't help your
anyway,
music, but it sure helped your personal life.
No, anyways,
immensely.
the song was really, really cool, man.
That's awesome.
I really liked it. We were talking
thank
about
you.
it before, a little, how demented we are. When you first go, oh, I have a new song, and I was talking to Chris, I'm like, I don't know, someone's new song. What if we hate it? We have to pick the song, because it's a show. We want to make sure we're not going to go, but anyway.
Yeah, we would hate to not have poker face. If somebody comes up and lays a turd and we go,
yeah, I can't.
Well, that's why you guys just pull your faces right off the screen when you play the song. You got 3.5 minutes to go. Come on. There we go. All right. You get the Botox in.
Yeah, exactly.
Feel real good. Take some pills.
Did not have to do that for this
Botox?
song because we genuinely thought it was outstanding.
No, it was really good. And I'm going to get away from the song for a moment. Song is great, but the fucking video, man, is like it's such cool. A DIY video, it came out so spectacular. Like the little nuances when you repeat it again and you circled it. I was like, oh, that's amazing. Yeah. And when you did the little squiggles under it, and my favorite part, when there was no words and you dropped the rows on the page, I thought it was phenomenal. I mean, I thought the video was like spectacular. So,
thank you.
Kudos to that.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. I've been working on this album for 3 years. So I finally this week got the whole thing done. It's mastered. I've got CD test press and vinyl test press in the mail. It's happening, baby. It's happening. And the release is coming soon. But the problem is, in the 11th hour, that's when I get all the good ideas. When I'm like, I should really do a video for some. Wow, wouldn't it be cool if I did handwritten lyric videos? And the inspiration for that actually, my wife is a huge fan of a couple guys from One Direction who are now out on their own, doing their own things. She put their latest stuff up on YouTube. Louis Tomlinson, by the way, man, dude's like a friggin' rock star. Do yourself a favor, check him out. But there was another guy too, and for their whole albums, their lyric videos are like handwritten lyrics that like pop up and like fade out and stuff over like Polaroids, shit like that, right? So I was like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool if I could just like be handwriting all the lyrics? Well, so I tried setting that all up with the big camera. And so we were going to mount like the big tripod with the big camera, have it face down. Turns out that didn't work. So what we had to settle on was take our desk, took the black background that I used for the backdrop of the album cover, which we'll see when I release that. Basically, we ripped one of our shelves down and put it over top of the desk. So it's about 2 feet in the air. And then I just took a couple pieces of tape that were equal length and then set my phone in there, just aiming straight down. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to play the song and write the lyrics. It's a 37-minute album. It'll take 37 minutes. Great. No, man, I had to slow the whole thing down.
That's what I thought
yeah.
you did. Yeah. Okay.
Oh
So
yeah,
yeah.
man.
So because I mean, your hand definitely looks sped up, but the nuances made me go, no, he's doing this as it's happening because like the circling and just the way like the words fell, and you had to have done practicing to know that on some of the lyrics. Oh, on some of the lyrics, you had to start writing before the words came. Well, she would have never gotten them on the damn page in time.
Yeah,
So
it honestly, it was a lot of trial and error and a bit of dumb luck. What I settled on was running them at quarter speed for easy math. If I did
okay,
the playback at quarter speed, then I could throw them into Filmora and ramp them up to 4.0. And that's how I got them to sequence. So listening to your entire album on 1/4 speed is the worst damn thing in the world. And there were, I think, so I've done it for all 10 now.
oh, have you? So okay,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
I thought it would
hardcore,
be a
brother.
I thought it would be a 5-hour project. It's taken 3 days, and I still have a few title sequences to do. Yeah, so a couple of the songs I would get to like the chorus or something like that at quarter speed and realize the song was too damn fast at quarter speed for me to keep up writing. Well, I've wasted 6 minutes of my life getting to the damn chorus, so I'll scrap it all. And so then what I would have to do is run that at 1/8 the speed, because that's the next
right,
divisor
right.
that
Yeah.
multiplies back to 100. Yeah. What a pain in the ass,
Definitely
really.
came out good. So,
Appreciate
song,
it.
the song itself, I mean, really well done. You have a really good total pop rock kind of sound that I really dig, and like I'm starting to feel like more of the music I write is starting to go that way, and maybe some pop isn't just popular, but it's dare say it's like matured kind of rock, like
Yeah.
and that's how it struck to me. My favorite part of the song was the final lyric because I don't know it. Black sky turns black to green, set the stage for February, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow! I thought that like it turned like the story into like a picture.
Hmm.
And like you could see like just like two people at the end, so I thought that part was phenomenal. I love the end of it, and I just liked how on some of your verses, um forgive me, I can't really pick them out, but you were naming like day-to-day kind of things, like listening to a record, and
Yeah.
and then the way you kind of jutted out, like I can't really put it into words, but then you put out like, and here's a big effect kind of thing, and it's not really because you were listening to records, but there's so much in the unsaid stuff, but you can kind of figure it out. I thought that was really
Yeah,
clever.
it was you kind of
Yeah.
described a mundane experience, but then the overarching theme that was behind it,
Yeah,
and the fallout from it. And I thought that part was, it went from here's words to very lyrical in like a line, and that was fantastic. Your pop sensibilities are
yeah.
really, really strong, and just everybody in the chat was like, "Oh, we are digging this."
Yeah.
I
So
really
good.
appreciate that.
And
This is
another
the
thing,
first song for the album that I wrote.
and
So
another
yeah.
another thing I liked was I'm a big fan of titles not in the lyrics. Right? Yeah, I don't believe you
Yeah.
use carousel. So and it fits
No.
really well. It fits very well. It's it's yeah.
I have
We've all had it.
I have my buddy Brandon Glue back up in Sault Ste. Marie to thank for that. He actually named that song. I was playing it on, so I was doing a series of live streams back when we were all locked down through 2020 when I started writing for this album in the wake of just a horrible, nasty breakup and a terrible relationship and all that stuff. That was my wife back there.
Yeah.
We
So
assumed as
We
much.
thought so.
yeah, so the
They don't
story
think you
has
had
a
a
happy
maid.
ending at least.
Yeah.
No, the story has a happy ending at least. But so in the thick of it, I was writing all of these songs about loss and just all these horrible, horrible, gut wrenching things. Um, But I started playing that song on my live streams that I was doing every week on Facebook. And all my friends were up in the comments like, "This is really good. We really like this song. What's it called?" And I was like, "I don't know." And it was Brandon Glue who actually came back and said, "Well, what about Carousel?" I was
I
like,
think
"Yeah,
it's
man.
very fitting to
Uh,
the title.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's really really nice."
Yeah, because for a lot of reasons, like Carousel has a certain innocence about it, and the song really has. The song is almost like we've all had that relationship. You go into it not really knowing anything about relationships, and you're just a good guy. I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna do everything I could
Yeah.
do. But the story of the song is, you get to a point and like, yo, what am I, an
Yeah.
idiot?
Yeah.
I'm worth more than this kind of
I'm
thing.
going up and down and up and down, and I'm
Yeah,
going in circles, and I'm going nowhere.
yeah.
Time to make a
So
That's
change.
it right there. That's it right there.
yeah,
Yep.
so and so just in the round and round sense, Carousel works, but also in that kind of part of maturing into a relationship. And the way I see it, I too went through something. I'd say kind of similar, like a 13-year thing, and I
Yeah.
went in it like, and I left quite
Yeah.
quite very bitter. Not bitter. I'm not a bitter person, believe it or not. I just sound bitter. But really, for some people, and maybe you are one of them, it really takes that to help you formulate what it is in the world you really want, and it helps you laser focus onto it. Like my wife now is
Yeah.
amazing. Our first date, um, I was there telling her, like, do you want kids? Because I'm like, I ain't fucking around, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not
No,
gonna
you
go
gotta
through this.
know.
I'm not gonna go through this bullshit of what you did.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I want in my life. Do you want it too? If not, let's just split dinner.
Right. Well, that's it. Yeah.
Got the
Like,
check in. See you later.
yeah. Like you've gotta almost go through the worst to know what you're looking for and really appreciate the best, I think. So that's
Indeed.
that's a lot of what this whole album as a whole sort of talks about too, right? Like, so the first 5 songs, Carousel is number 5. The first 5 songs are all strung together. It's a big 19-minute thing. Kind of the 5 songs embody 5 different stages of grief going out of this whole relationship and all that stuff. Carousel is the acceptance song at the end of it.
Mhm.
And then the second half of the album goes through the angsty side, a little brief moment of introspection, like I'm on my own, I'm going to figure out who I am as a person, and then the last 3 songs are just pop bangers about how great life is and how
And
happy I am
is
to have
that
got through
now?
it.
Is that one of the songs that I was so adamant you have to let me play guitar, and then I just forgot all about it?
That would have been Hot and Cold, so that's
Yeah.
number
Okay.
3 in the
Yeah.
sequence. Yeah,
That is really
and
good song. I'm sorry.
I
I
yeah,
forgot I
I
had a
really appreciate
collaboration with
that.
it too.
No, that's okay, man. I knew you were so busy. It's all good. Actually, this might be a good time to share because we're on YouTube. We're hanging out with the community. I actually do have a guest guitarist on that
Oh,
song.
cool. Awesome.
The one, the only Hetriani.
Oh,
Uh,
excellent.
Nice.
yeah, yeah. He,
That's a
yeah.
far cry better for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you can't get Dom, Hetriani's all right. He can work.
I'll
He's
accept
okay.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you
Yeah.
said Hugh
It's like,
Caldwell, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Delete.
yeah.
No, that's fantastic.
Mike is
No,
no
it's
longer a
it's
guest on the show.
honestly, it's
No,
it's
he's
it's
amazing.
it's great. Yeah.
He is one of the only people I have collaborated with where I talked to him and he goes, okay. And it came back perfect.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't
He
have
sent
to.
me
Yeah.
he sent me take 1, and I was like, I only have
Done.
one little thing with one note. I said, you end on a D, I need it to an E. He goes, I'll just patch in a bend. and I was like, perfect, it's on. It's consider it already pressed. It's in the grooves,
Yeah.
man. It's perfect. And that was it. And like,
When I asked him to do that song Oblivion, I did. There's a big long guitar solo and this little fast outro. That's like maybe 15, 20 seconds. And like he gets me one night and he's like, man, you gotta listen to this. And like he's like, I wanted to do the song because he loved the outro. And he did like this amazing thing to the outro. And he was like, all right, now I have to go do the solo. But it was like hearing someone, especially when, when you do work with people like you really respect and they're excited about something you're presenting them, it really it's a really big,
Well, that's why he is so well respected in the community, because he brings that passion every time he goes out and whoever he works with. And, it's obvious that he loves what he's doing and you're getting his best effort. And that is,
He's one of those guys. You ever watch that show Eastbound and Down? Kenny Powers.
Yes.
He's one of those guys who just rolls out of bed and pisses excellence.
Yeah. No question.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit more about you've got this whole album.
Who's got a modem?
No, it's severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna get.
I thought it was going to be the whole continent's on fire.
I thought it was there's a kid toucher alert in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Well, anyway, tell us a little bit about your journey to the album. I know you've played a long time. You've been in a number of bands. This is certainly not your first album, even. But kind of walk us through your musical journey a little bit and how those experiences all culminated in you doing this album.
Yeah. So I recorded my first ever. Oh my God, Dom, are you okay? I recorded my first ever tape when I was 13. It was on an old Pioneer deck in my dad and stepmom's living room, and it sounded like crap. Nobody's ever going to hear it, so don't even try. But that was kind of where it began. I've basically self-taught on everything: guitar, bass, drums, a little bit of keys here and there, vocals, obviously, produce all my own stuff. So I've been, in and out of a number of bands. When I was 18, I moved to Sault Ste. Marie for flight training. I lived there for 7 years getting that done, and I fronted a band called The Din. And I've sent a couple of those Din videos over to Thomas Christ, and he's played them. And
I've seen them.
So I really got to become decently well known in Sault Ste. Marie, which is a nice place to do that, right? Everybody's a musician there. There's a city of 70,000 people, and there are 80,000 bands. I don't even know how. So then when I was 25, I moved up to Thompson, Manitoba, which is very, very far north. If you know where Winnipeg is, it's 500 miles north of there.
Oh my.
So that was where I took my first airline job. I was loading bags, waiting for my chance to fly the plane, because I had my commercial pilot license by that point. But while I was up there, I wrote the album Bridges, which is my most recent release, and also the album If Ever Comes the Day. I was in and out of a couple of relationships. I was playing in some cover bands. One really interesting one where, in a 45-minute set, I'd get to go around the horn. I'd start on guitar, then go to bass, then go to drums, then go front the band for a few. Like, we were having fun. But through it all, I've always just really, really loved, writing and producing my own stuff. And I've always found that music is a way for me to just tell my life story, right? If I've got anything at all in the brain, I write a song. If that doesn't work, I write an album. If that doesn't work, I write two. And eventually I get it out, and then I feel a lot better. And then when I play it live, I get to sort of relive it and get through it. And it's therapeutic, right? It's almost exposure therapy.
I was going to say that Chris and I both know someone who, in a lot of ways, is exactly like you. except in one very important detail. You process through your lyrics and then you release.
Yeah.
And then chapters end. Now I don't go backwards, I go forwards. And we know someone who just cannot go forward.
Yeah.
And it was like, just let it be.
Yeah, this poor guy is on the carousel, and I don't know when he's getting off.
Yeah.
God bless
But
him.
he's
And
not
a
on
wonderful
it
human
anymore.
being. But
he did get it off, but he lives there still. Like, and it's like, it's a little weird, you know? So I would say I am the same kind of songwriter. I write songs because that's how I think things through. And I actually like write songs that make me do things, because if I write it in the song, I feel it must be true. And sometimes the words on the page help me argue the man in my head telling me different things. You know, so I kind of have a similar way of going about it. So
it's interesting how everybody is different in that respect. I probably, more of my songs probably explore aspects that are either a very small part of me or just not something that's key in my life, but being in the song allows me to explore it, where in real life it's just not something I do or something that I think about particularly.
Right. No, I mean, you know, the picture for Songwriters Anonymous is like, that picture is me in a nutshell. I don't, for people who haven't seen it, it's a guy sitting on a stool in front of a mirror playing guitar, and it says, "This is a song I wrote about myself," or something like that. And you know, and like that is me in a nutshell. Every song,
I'm
blindly,
kind of the opposite.
Yeah. Well, I know.
I don't drink whiskey all the time. I've been married for 34 years, you know, so I don't run
Chris,
around.
Do you remember? Hold on. Remember when we all did that big Jude collaboration song?
Yes.
It was me. I wrote lyrics. You wrote lyrics.
Yep.
Ron Ward, Jude, and who else? Was there another person?
One other person.
Joe Liberty.
Thank you. Yeah,
so Jude had this great idea. He had this song, and then he contacted a bunch of us to all write a verse. And it was so cool, because somehow all these separate verses, and we didn't know what anyone else did.
No, we didn't hear anything that anyone else was doing.
Yeah, all told.
He didn't even give you a theme.
No. He said this is the song is called Unplanned. Write something like, to whatever unplanned is to you, kind of thing. So I learned something that session that I never knew existed. So I tell this kind of funny tale about something that actually happened to me. And then no one else did. Everyone else made up stuff. And I was like, what? What are you people are weird, you know, like, you know, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
You know, obviously Chris's was made up. So that came as a huge surprise to me. Like, people don't use their songs as like, because it's way cheaper than paying for a therapist, you know?
Yeah.
Well, both can be true, you know, because it can allow you to
I mean, it just like, I don't think it's bad. It just fascinated me, you know, because, you know, you just think what you do is what everybody does sometimes.
Right. Well, I remember we had this conversation and you were like a little surprised. I'm like, oh, you can make stuff up. And it's like, yeah, that's my entire, you know, I've always been a writer, and the stuff that you write, that couldn't happen to you in real life. Everything's got to be embellished.
Maybe it's because I'm such a hippie at heart that I really attach myself to the classic, like, folk singer-songwriter, and they were all about, you know, their inner demons and things.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck there. Oh, even though I've tried to expand, and that's a lot to do with, like, Papa Tom, you know, how he writes songs about all these different things. So I tried how can I take what Tom does and tell it my own kind of way? So, and in effect, write a song not about myself.
Is there any particular artist, Mike, that you listen to, or a particular genre that kind of influenced you and how you process songwriting?
You know what? I grew up listening to a lot of artists that have really influenced me. So, Elton John, Billy Joel, Meatloaf, the Jim Steinman era in
Oh
particular.
yeah, classics.
Really, really good stuff there. I'm a big sucker for piano and synths and all that sort of stuff. Tears for Fears, man.
Oh
Tears
yeah,
Love
for
Tears
Fears,
for
yeah.
Fears.
great
Hmm.
band.
Actually, we're going to see them live on the 29th. So
Oh cool.
excited for that.
Cool.
Yeah. And then on the other end of the spectrum, a lot of early 90s female contemporary singer songwriters. So, like your Alanis Morissette's, your Alana Miles.
Hmm.
Man, I'm blanking on the one.
Tracy
Amanda
Chapman, perhaps.
Marshall.
Yeah. This,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one.
So,
My wife turned me on
yeah,
to one. She's phenomenal, but I can't remember her name off now,
yeah,
of course.
no,
Yeah, no, I wore out some
it's
Anisette's first
always
album.
been,
Is it
yeah,
Patty? I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
yeah.
But here's my question: do you listen to the type of music you play, or is it out, or is it what you listen to different than what you play?
Um, no, I feel like I generally listen to a lot of the stuff that I either play or want to play. You know, if I'm going for a more ambient sort of, um, almost lo-fi pop sort of thing, I'm probably going to listen to about 3 or 4 Future Islands albums and just see if what I've got in my head,
Mm.
can be inspired by one of
Mm-hmm.
their arrangements or something like that. Um, yeah, and I'm always playing 80s and 90s stuff, and that's
Okay.
really kind of my wheelhouse.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Now,
I
one
like
thing,
that.
now I'll squeal on you a little bit because being in Songwriters Anonymous, when we say we share things, I mean we share raw tracks and we share, we'll share videos of our DAWs and what's going on. And Mike shared
Oh
one
yeah.
about 6 months ago, and I'm counting up the vocal tracks, and I went,
Oh my God!
"Holy shit,
Yeah,
Mike! How
it's
many
like
vocal
30
tracks do you
something,
have on
right?
this song, brother?"
No, there was a
And
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
but so clue people in a little bit on some of the layering and some of the things that you do as you produce your music.
Yeah, so I mean, my philosophy to recording is the same philosophy I have when I'm flying. My tax dollars paid for every foot of that runway. I'm going to use it. Um, so I mean, I record on GarageBand iOS. It's got a maximum of 32 tracks, and if I have not used all 32, I'm not done. And that's true for every single song. So I really like pulling things out and really expanding things and making them very, very feel like they really surround you, right? So
Mm.
instead of one guitar track in mono, I might do it in stereo and then double it and pan 100 left, 100 right. Vocals, usually what I'll do is I'll track my main vocal and then I'll duplicate it twice. What I like to do is have a little bit of a bassier tone going right up the middle, and then I'll split either 50-50 or 100-100 with a bit more treble. It just gives you a bit more air. It feels like it surrounds you. And I was actually struggling a lot with that mixing this album. Um, some of these songs were hell to mix, and
Yeah, I
it just
remember
felt like
a
nothing I
couple of them you
could do.
sent me.
Yeah.
Hmm.
My hair used to go to like here, and
Yeah,
now it's
you got full Eddie
right.
Munster.
Man, it's been a long 3 years.
I always thought like my dream best friend would be someone who does not play an instrument, cannot write lyrics, but just is so into like everything you were just talking about, and
Hmm.
almost have like a Elton John, Bernie Taupin kind of relationship where
Right.
I'll write the songs and you just tell me what the fuck to do and make it sound good, because
Yeah.
I 100% I hate that whole process. I don't
Hmm.
like it. I don't enjoy any of it. And that's part of my difficulty with recording. It's not rewarding to me.
No, eh?
I love to sit here on my couch with a notebook and like, oh, that sounds good.
Really?
And I love that part of making music. I don't like the recording of it.
See, and I live for the recording. I mean, when I'm recording and when I'm mixing and when I'm mastering, I absolutely hate its guts, and I hate myself for doing it, and it's the worst thing in the world. And then I'll tell you, when I worked on the masters and got everything dialed in like 4 days ago or whatever it was, and just sat down and listened to the album start to finish and the mastering, the way it just makes everything shine so brightly, man, like that's just the greatest feeling in the world, is
Cool.
being at the
No,
end of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I live for that.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for the do-it-yourself. Early on, I didn't have any confidence in what I was doing, even though I'd done some recording. And I worked with a couple people, and I found that either they weren't listening to what I thought I was pretty obvious you could hear, or I was doing a terrible job of communicating what I wanted. And I quickly got to the point, it's like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to do it myself, and I'll learn as I go. And I'll get back to your vocal thing, because I'm curious. Now, you've got 3 quote unquote main vocals. Do you sing that 3 times, or do you duplicate? Okay.
I duplicate because I want that initial lead one to be very, very filled. And I want it to be just as tight as it could be. So yeah, that's a triple on a single track. Now, if I'm going to try to run a doubler and I want some sort of chorus effect, I'll do that 3 trick. And then what I'll do is I'll go in and record like a doubler track to it, and then duplicate that and go 50-50. If I've got 0, 100, 100, I'll go 50-50 on the doubler, and then the whole thing just surrounds you. So I basically just sit there and screw around when I get bored, and I'm like, man, what if there were 12 of me? That would sound better than one.
No, the mix is exceptionally well done.
Well, and that's where I was getting to. That's a simple pop song, but it sounded so rich and complex because of the way you recorded it and the way that you were very deliberate in how you spread the vocals and the instruments.
The fact that he's doing on an iPad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that shouldn't be overlooked. People who, with all the studio and everything, this album, and of course we've heard parts of it, and everybody got to hear the song tonight, done on an iPad, boys and girls.
Yep.
Chris, are you banging on your desk?
I just did, because I was making a point. Sorry about that.
They're like, who's got the drum?
I will not yield the floor to the senator from South Dakota.
We're doing construction work over here. By the way, I'm really proud.
Your house is a lovely beige.
Yes, it is. It's sort of more of an off-white. We just have soft lighting in here.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah. Well, because you looked very, appealing.
Very soft.
In your soft lighting.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, what we'd love to do, now that we've talked about the song and everything, we'd love to track it again and let everybody listen to it now in the context as you've described it and how you recorded it. And we've talked about the video, and now people can listen to it again, get it in their minds, and really enjoy it, knowing what they know.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
You're hopefully queuing that bad boy up, Dom.
Oh, okay, good. You don't need. It started, and I was freaking out.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. Let me do this again. Here we come, folks. Now we have to pause it because damn autoplay. All right. So now I go to present arms. Switch to that. Now we're going to listen to it a second time. That's going to be our thing. We're going to play the same song twice.
Thank you for twice the views.
Now we hit that.
February.
Once again, just fantastic, Mike. What a great song.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
I asked the chat real quick before we let you go if there was any questions they wanted to ask, and Hugh Caldwell asked a great one. He said, "Do you do the lyric first or the music first?"
Typically, I do the music first. Now, there are some exceptions to that. And the very, very rare occasion where everything just kind of pops into my head at the same time. Usually that comes with a chorus. But yeah, typically it's music first and then lyrics.
Yep, indeed. And Dom's muted again, so I'm sure he's saying something brilliant, but we don't know what it is.
Phenomenal.
Now that's gone forever.
Yeah, forever.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna say something real dumb. Is it completely music? Like, do you compose the entire song and then write words to it, or is it like I'll start off with one or the other, but then at some point it always becomes kind of intertwined.
So a lot of times I do end up just recording all the instrumental tracks for a song. If the inspiration hits and I've got it, I'm just doing it. And then if I can't come up with the lyrics right away, what I used to do, and I don't do it so much anymore. I'm a little bit better now at getting the lyrics down when I want them to. But what I used to do is I would get the instrumental versions recorded. Actually, for Bridges is a really good example. The entire album, I recorded all 10 songs instrumentals. And then what I did is I put them on my phone on a playlist. And every single night when I would lay down to bed, I would just listen to the entire album of instrumentals, start to finish. I did that every single night. Well, after a few weeks, after a few months, words start popping in certain places, right? And then it got to the point where, with the majority of the songs for that record in particular, one day I finally just, bought a stack of paper, sat down, and I was like, I'm going to fill out the holes. And as I started writing, I was like, oh, shit, these are already done. Just had to pen them out. But they were fully up there. So
I find that I usually so I'll get like a guitar riff or something, and then I'll loop it, and I'll just start, and then eventually words start to pop out that you go, ooh, I like that word, or two words, and then same thing. I take those and I look at them, and I'm like, what can I add in between them? And then usually, and then they take their own kind of shape. That's fun because it's very exploratory, because it's fun for the writer, because oh shit, that's what I was writing about. Like one of my personal favorites for me was the song Hard Road I wrote when I was halfway through the song when I realized, oh my God, this is about when I had cancer,
Right, yeah.
And so that I did not think any of the words were leaning there, and in the end, that's 100% what it was. So that's fun for the writer, and maybe why I like that part of it so much. But anyway, we have wasted enough of time with you. No, Frank, I was going to say this. We could turn this this is my favorite thing in the world to do. By the way, is just talk about a song.
Talk with other songwriters about their songs and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
before we let you go though, make sure, Mike, to tell everybody where they can find your music.
And can I post that the link to the song there so they can just click it and go to it? Or are
yeah.
Okay.
You know what? You can. So it's unlisted for now. I'm going to premiere it probably next week. But because all you people are so lovely and you've joined us this evening, you can have the link ahead of time. You can go watch it at your own leisure and send all your hate mail to contact@mikehaggett.com. So yeah, you can hear all my music at mikehaggett.com. That'll get you linked up to everything. If you go to mikehaggett.bandcamp.com, you can hear every single album I've ever released since 2011. So that's album number 43 onward, but we don't count the other 42
he has
that
numbers
came
like
before.
Thomas Christ.
Yeah. Yeah. So MikeHaggett.com is really your hub for everything. You find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, and of course, you can find me on YouTube. And I've got everything on my YouTube as well. But yeah, that's pretty much where you can find it.
And if you're
Excellent.
very lucky, you can find him in the cockpit of your flight in
That's
Canada.
true.
Yeah, maybe.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I could take that plane. I'm like, I know this guy. I don't know.
Nah, yeah.
I'd feel great about it.
I've heard his lyrics. He's a little, yeah.
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
I'm definitely. You batshit crazy. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, it's just because I can't have my friends doing important things in my like
No.
if Chris were a surgeon. No
Yeah.
fucking way. Fucking kill me. That man
Yeah.
ain't touching me.
I'd have to get a hairnet probably.
Yeah, he'll come at me all looking like a lunch lady.
Well, that's it. You know, they say you should never meet your heroes, right? So
Yeah,
that is what it is.
it is. Mike, we've loved
You
having
keep
you on.
telling
Thank
me
you so
so
much for
bad.
sharing your song.
Yeah,
and
man,
sharing
it
your
was a
music
lot
with
of
us,
fun.
brother. All right.
And,
We'll
yeah.
have you back again. When
Yeah,
Oh, you
100%.
better.
when the album
Yeah.
gets released, yeah, we'll dissect another song here in a month or so.
For sure, yeah. I will have an announcement about the album release coming up soon. Just been
Excellent.
laying the groundwork, man, and these videos are killing me. They're taking forever.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, keep up the good work. That very creative and really what you want to see from a video is something that enhances the song. And it's a great song and the music made it that much better.
That was great.
So well done.
Oh, that's awesome. Well,
Absolutely great.
thanks,
All right,
guys.
Mike, it was good
Really
to see you.
appreciate it.
Everybody, say goodbye to Mike Haggett.
Thanks,
And
Mike.
If you
Bye,
don't,
everybody.
if you're not subbed to him already, you should do so. Oh,
Yeah,
I
go
almost
sub
removed
Mike
you,
up.
Chris.
do.
All right, bye, Mike. Thank
All
you.
right, see you guys.
Thanks. All right,
how
Mike
about that,
Hadley,
Chris?
everybody. Oh, that was awesome.
That was very fun. I really do enjoy that part
Yes,
of it the
it's
best.
the best.
Like that's what me and my friends used to do. We'd buy a new album. Hey, the new album came out. We'd all get together.
Yep.
Like, big bag of weed, case or two of beer. Guys, you ready? And we'd listen to it. We'd take turns passing the album jacket, read the lyrics, and then we would just talk about the album all night.
Yep.
I friggin' love doing that. So I really like this.
It's a
part of it.
shame that albums don't exist in that form except on repressings anymore because there was nothing better than looking at the album artwork and then reading all the liner notes. And, hopefully I loved when they put the lyrics in there. Not all artists did, but man,
Yeah.
I love reading the
Most-
lyrics
yeah.
and, what equipment they used and who their roadie was. And that stuff was awesome.
One of
And-
my favorite liner notes was on the first Blind Melon album. Well, even though there are only two. But on the back of it, it said, Blind Melon is a band. And that was it. No names of anyone. And I was like, that is beautiful. It was like, that's what we are. And, and to me, they're like, Blind Melon was like a perfect example of how good a band can be together when you can tell when each member is like bringing something to the table. Pearl Jam was a lot like that, so yeah, that was a good liner note anyway. So what are we going to do now, Chris?
All right. That's an excellent question. I'm still high from talking to Mike, but we probably should chat just a little bit about you in particular. And about Stonerfest. Talk to me about your experience playing Stonerfest because, we've both done the live panels and everything, but this was very different in that, you came out, I had the pleasure of introducing you, and then it was bam, Dom for 40 minutes or 25 minutes, whatever it was.
25 minutes.
25. And it's just no stop, just boom, you go.
That what it was, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I was very nerve-wracking though. Like, and I live streamed for 2.5 hours, but it felt, that I feel like I'm just, sitting around hanging out with people. But in my head, Stonerfest, this is an important thing. There's going to be 11 other people playing, and I want to be serious about it. I mean, I'm technically always serious about it, but I
understand what you're saying.
I wanted to make a good showing and like honor like the whole idea of it. And of course, what do? The only person I started muted, right? Which I've done like 3 times tonight.
Yeah, it's tough to remember to get the damn mute.
It really is.
I mean, well, because you're so paranoid about not muting, and then having your phone go off with weather alerts, and
Right.
and the other distracting stuff which you never want to do.
Or going like this, like a crazy
Banging
person.
on the table. Yeah. I'm an excitable guy. What do you want? I'm an Irishman. You're lucky I'm not liquored up and trying to pick a fight.
Yeah. So yeah, the whole show was fantastic. I was really happy to be part of it.
Cool. And did you find that it was better, rather than playing a song and then sitting for 20 minutes or whatever and waiting your turn again? Did you find the flow was good and you got after that first one it's like, okay, I'm rolling?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I had it. I mean, I practiced those 5 songs over and over again. I was practicing with one guitar, trying to be able to because there's one song that takes a drastic tune. I have to tune 5 of the strings of the guitar differently. So I was practicing like how fast can I tune it, and in the end, with the restriction of time, I am very precise about time. If someone says be here then, I'm there then. If they say it's got to be this long, it's that long, so I take that shit serious. So I wanted to make sure I fell into time. So then I was like, I have to use 2 guitars. It's the only way I can do it. And you said I was like one of the closest to
30 seconds,
25 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, you were within 30 seconds where Frank Terzo got an encore, as people probably remembered, and there was 2 reasons for it. I knew of one of them, but there was 2 reasons for it.
I know the like one of the things I really liked about Frank's performance, and in retrospect, I wish I would have done myself. Camera came on and Frank played, and I thought that was so cool. He played a song or 2, and then he talked a little bit, and I really like that. So yeah,
Frank was on it, and he actually ended a teeny bit early,
right?
And what the guest that was following him wasn't in the stream yet. So May and I are behind the scenes, and I just said, "Is this artist ready?" And G's goes, "Nope, he's not in yet." It's like, and then he said, "Hey,
schedule."
Do
now I have to look to see who followed Frank.
I'm not saying, but yeah, they came in and they were awesome, but they came in literally 2 minutes before they were supposed to go on, and so
kind of like you did this evening.
Well, but I had a good excuse.
Yeah, that's true.
If you looked at your phone, you saw when I called you and texted you, it was hours before because I was trying to be prepared. And you were napping or doing something.
My wife just got home. She went to New York City to the theater this evening.
In the theater? What did she see?
I forget. But one of her students, my wife's an art teacher, a student in her school's mother is in this play, and she's up for a Tony Award.
Oh,
and
no
she
kidding.
gave my wife and her friends backstage passes, so she went to go meet the cast and stuff.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, isn't that really cool? Yeah,
I love plays, productions when they come to town.
No,
my wife and I go, and we go to the symphony often because why not? We live
I don't know.
In a great city.
I don't think I have the appreciation for the symphony. I do like musicals. I like all plays. I like because the amount of work that goes into it. It's like a live movie. Yeah, I do like them. I don't like it's not like I go by the musical soundtrack and would never listen to it again.
Right.
But I do like the experience of it.
Yeah, actually, I think you, Dom, probably would love the symphony because, being musicians like we are, and you pick apart the elements and you're listening to the interplay between the instruments and watching the conductor, it's pretty cool.
I should. I've been, but really, no.
It's just not your thing. Yeah, that's cool.
No,
I get it.
I find it a little boring. Well, because there's no words in it. Like I'm big with the words.
Well, we often go when they're backing an artist. Like went and saw them. Mandolin Orange. That's not what they call themselves now. Watch House. They've renamed themselves, but they're a very famous bluegrass group.
Right.
And so, but the symphony was backing them up on their music. So, got the words and the lyrics and all the stuff that we love. And then watching the conductor place the symphony behind this bluegrass band was masterful. I mean, we really were digging it, and it sounded so amazing.
I had a kind of like a similar experience. We went to go see. We take our kids to believe it or not, they make like a lot of play type things for little kids. So we figured let's start doing things like this, and so we can get them on a kind of an evolution of arts and stuff. So like we've taken them to see like Rudolph and they do a lot for like TV shows. I can't remember all the names, but we've seen a bunch. But one time we were at a show and I was at this perfect angle and I saw like they had a whole pit for like this little thing for kids and making wacky sounds and I thought I thought it was really cool and I wound up because I don't want to watch toy trucks run around, so I was watching the musicians in the pit and I thought it was pretty fascinating that they're that it wasn't pre-recorded.
No,
That's
that
what
is cool.
I would have assumed it was just pre-recorded.
Yeah, no, that is fantastic to have live musicians doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, again, let's review. Now, I'm old. I took my kids to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the musical, and it was terrible. But they had live musicians, so there was that.
The Turtles, they like the pizza. All right, and they're all named after painters.
Famous
I
Renaissance
have to back
artists.
up for a second. When I asked you the question, hey, Chris, what do you want to do now? I totally forgot about the fact that you're not actually in as an admin. So you didn't see that our next guest was actually here. And
I was going to ask behind the scenes. He started
telling his whole long story. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I remembered halfway through, Chris has no idea.
I can't see it. I was hoping that's what we were leading up to, but...
So with that in mind, I am going to bring up our next guest, our news anchor of the show, Mr. Chad Friedman. Hey, what's going on, Chad? I am so sorry about that.
No worries. No worries.
Well, we learned from last time. Yeah. We're not going to talk over the top of you. We're going to throw it to you, and you're going to go, brother. And we're not going to.
I don't usually have much to say anyway, though. So, I mean, it's okay.
You are a very soft-spoken man.
A man of few words, but powerful words.
I did though make sure to bring just a couple of news tidbits for you guys. Nothing groundbreaking, but just some things that I found interesting. One is that I guess Stock Danger appeared on Boltonator's show last night and announced that he's doing a YouTube tour to get the word out that his new show is starting next Saturday. So June 17th, 7 p.m. and it's going to be on CC Karaoke.
Right.
So, and then one of the neat things with the musicians is Valerie Bott has a video that actually hit 10,000 views. Her cover of Sweet Jane, it just hit 10K.
Wow!
Earlier
Good
this
for
week.
Valerie.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah. So
that's like serious.
She's such a nice person. That is fantastic to have her have that kind of success.
Yeah. So 10,023 views right now is what it's sitting at.
How long has it been released?
It's like 2 years old. So
but I mean, it's continually grown. That's
right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's even better. That's true. Rather than when something just goes,
exactly.
It caught a good stream. This is actual fan base building kind of thing.
Right.
That's awesome.
Right. Yeah, and that's what I 10,000 is great. So I guess 20K is the next should be the next goal for.
Wow,
Of course,
fantastic
it's not
music.
anything that you can actually, it just happens, when you have something.
I mean, there's it doesn't mean anything, and yet it means a
Right,
lot.
right,
Like when
Right.
my thing with the whole streaming and stuff now, I was thinking about, and I don't. When I first started, I cared too much about things I shouldn't care about, and I care a lot less about those now. But I did say to myself, okay, so basically, YouTube says, in YouTube's opinion, if you have 1,000 subs and you can put 4,000 hours of content out, we consider you to be somebody. As far as like creator goes. So I was like, damn, to me it was kind of like YouTube's trying to say you're probably not going to do this. You know what I mean? So I don't like when people tell me I can't do something. So
right.
I was like, well, man, I'm going to try. I'm going to at least try to seriously do it and see if I can. It's tough, man, getting hours, boy.
Right.
Oof.
So Valerie has the hours. She just doesn't have the subs yet. So
Right.
Yeah.
she's not that many away. I mean, I think a couple of hundred. So
Okay.
Yeah, she's getting there. And again, she works hard and puts in
Oh,
the
yeah,
work.
Doing it for
definitely.
so long. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. What else do we know?
Did y'all see Preston Smith, his band? They released a video
I
just a
heard
day
him
ago.
talking about it, and I haven't had a chance to see it yet. I've been meaning to go there.
Yes.
Yeah, with the
Night
dead
Trip-
Mac, I'm not getting around like I had hoped to, because all my links and all that stuff are gone right now. So
Right. Yeah, Night Tripper is the band that he's in, and it's the Good Old Days. DAZE is
That's
the
a cool
song.
name.
And I guess he's going to do a playthrough with it next week on his stream, which is going to be his 50th birthday celebration.
Oh,
So,
a nice young man.
yes.
50, a man of 50.
get off my
And
lawn, you
And he
punk
also
kid.
makes wooden guitar picks.
Yep.
So I was thinking about getting some because I'm trying to find a new pick. I'm finding the pick I really like. It's just a little too thin. I need just a little bit more, but the next one up is like a heavy, and I'm like, it's too heavy. So I'm a little flummoxed about my guitar pick situation. I may have to give up everything.
Oh no, I like the red Dunlop, the 60s. I've been playing with
you
these for
use
decades.
60s? Oh man, I use like a millimeter and like.
No, this
I'm
one
like,
actually, the red one is the 50s. I used to, and I don't play bass with a pick very often, but I used the green 88s when I did that back in
I
the
have.
day.
What do I have for bass? They're like super heavies. They're like really heavy.
Yeah, no, I lied. This is a .50, so the red is the 50. It's the orange that's 60. But yeah, I play with the 50. Anymore, I play bass. Actually, when I record bass, if I do choose to use a pick, I go ahead and just use the same pick because it gives a little bit of attack, but it doesn't beat on it, and you hear all that string noise.
I only use one pick when I play bass. I only use one pick when I play electric. This is I can't read anything.
I know the eyesight goes.
Those little where's the camera?
Yeah, Tortex. Yeah, same as
little jazz picks. I love these when I play electric guitar, but when I play acoustic guitar, I almost play with like a different pick for every song. I'm so like certain strumming songs, you want to light a pick because you want to hear the as it goes across the strings.
Yeah.
But if you're doing any kind of like single note hitting, then it falls apart because it's not strung enough, and then you get the click before you actually hear the note. So yeah, I use so many stupid picks when I play my acoustic guitar.
You need to get Domfather picks. Just
yeah,
basically,
you should have custom one done. Yeah, for sure.
But they would clearly be, you know, like I get, you know, my kids, Rush guitar picks, Kiss guitar
Right.
picks, Beatles guitar picks, and they are one song picks.
Yeah.
Play and then I break them like within 10
Yeah, well,
minutes.
because those are throwaway crap ones. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah,
especially, you know, with acoustic guitar, because a lot of times acoustic guitar, I use the side of the pick, or you know, I use like different parts of it to try to get like different sounds.
right. Well, that's why I like these nylon ones, because they wear out, but they don't break. And the
Mhm.
plastic ones break, and I hate that. There's
Yeah.
nothing worse than it breaking, and then you get it jammed in the string, and then that sucks.
Or you ever get when you get just the bite, you get the bite out like right in the corner of the pick,
Yes.
and then when you go down, it hooks on a string, and you're like, what the hell happened?
That throws you off, and it's unpleasant to listen to.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's good.
Yeah. What's going on, Pendar? How you doing, pal?
Yeah, good to see you. I've had some new people join us. Pendar is with us now, which is nice. Well, what else do we know, Chad? What else is happening in the community, brother?
Pretty light. Not a whole lot else. I do know that you know, the Friday block party, which is going to be the multi-stream, the last Friday of the month. So far, Son of Snake is the only artist that's signed up to be a part of it. So we do have 5 open spots for that. If any artists are wanting to stream, whether they perform live or they would just want to come on and talk and play videos, or you know, streamers in general are also welcome.
Is that the 30th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going.
I'm keeping my powder dry. If I get my Mac back, then I'll send.
Aren't you
Clay
going
a
away
note.
though? You're going away too, aren't you?
On the 30th. Yeah, you're right. No, I'm gone. I'm out of here.
Yeah, we're
Never
both
mind.
leaving for like the whole week. We're not meeting secretly and congregating or anything.
No,
We're
he's going to
different places.
Pennsylvania, and I'm going to Montana.
Yes.
By way of Idaho and Wyoming. But
you're gonna become a dental floss tycoon, Chris?
Absolutely. No,
God,
my lonely dental floss is, you know, coming into its own right now.
And I just wanted to say, you know, this past Saturday, I think was a great Saturday for the community. The Stoner Fest was a great success. I mean, that went so smoother than really I think I was expecting it to. It was really
nobody,
great.
I mean, we all have a lot of respect for GMA, but let's not be phony people. I would never think that such a smooth show can come out of Camp GMA. I mean, because listen, Gary likes to have a little fun when he's doing his show, and that's probably why we love the show so much. But yeah, man, it was smooth. Right. It was beautiful.
Well, right. Gary did the work behind the scenes, and we were set up and everything. Although, again, he likes to push it because, you know, we had the same background. Well, he didn't send it to me until 20 minutes before the show.
Right.
Okay, you know. But to your point, Chad, it was smooth. I was just so impressed with the artists. Right. You know, just how prepared they were and how excellent. And I got to give you compliments. Of course, I couldn't watch because I was preparing for the show, but your punk rock show that was on before Stoner Fest was outstanding. Really well done. The artists did great. You know, and again, I had been conversing with Son of Snake, Chris, there, but it's always fun to see people visually when they join a live stream and just kind of get a sense of what they look like and, you know, their mannerisms and how they talk and that kind of thing. So that was very cool. Yeah. And, you know.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. He's a good guy, and he loves to do collabs. So he's open if anybody's, you know, looking to potentially.
If he wants to wait 2 years, I'll say yes right now.
Yeah, as we talked about at the beginning of the show. Yes, do a collab with Dom, and it'll come out eventually.
The worst.
In my case,
really, people, if they
don't
just say no to me.
Maybe.
Oh, that's funny.
And yes, it's important to note June 24th. I mentioned I'll be on Steve Haloa's show on the 22nd, and then on 24th is not Stoner Fest, but it's Whiskey Fest, and that's my annual barbecue birthday bash on my deck where I smoke delicious meats. I make a couple vegetarian things in case any vegetarians show up. And we drink whiskey and we just celebrate my birthday. And I will be 61 years old this year.
61.
Yep.
Wow.
You know, not bad for an
The
old guy,
oldest
right?
person I know. Next to Papa
Well,
Tom.
Tom
No, that's
still
great.
got me by a couple years.
Yeah, a couple
but,
years, yeah.
You know, but you can look at Tom and you can look at me and go, clean living and being virtuous and moral and everything, that's useless. Live like me.
Yeah. Who else had
I look
Lori
great.
had right? Lori's Mishmash had a birthday.
Yeah.
Hippie had a birthday. Oh, that's right.
Hippie.
That's the other. That's right. There was literally a show on. Hippie started at 6 or 7 o'clock, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
then, of course, because how things work, I had done a live performance of Nutshell for his birthday thing, sent it to him. And of course, I'm kind of watching his show out of the corner of my eye and I'm in the chat, but I'm getting ready to go on Gmail. We open the show and then I see it come on. It's like, of course.
Right. I don't know if anyone caught it. If anyone was at the show, there was one moment where Chris, the wonderful co-host, was talking to people.
Oh, yes. I made one mistake.
Yeah. So, and then he was like, then he muted, but he was talking to me, Naya, and Mike Molino. We were all in a private stream. So like when he was hosting, you know, when music was playing, we were all talking together, and he went to the show, and I heard the echo. It was like, oh, Chris forgot to mute.
Yeah, I forgot to mute. I
found it so funny, and it was really funny because he had, I guess he was using his phone to talk to us.
Yes.
So we had a completely different angle, and it was so funny, man. So. And some of the things, you know, he was playing that pretty rappy song, and Chris was trying to do his shoulder dance, but we could see below, and it was like, oh, Chris should not be dancing at all. Man.
Not to that.
He's got no business doing this. I'll never be the same now that I've actually seen part of his torso.
No.
Like
I've got okay moves, but I'm not a great chair dancer. I mean, few of us are.
And see, you were great shoulders up, man. You were like, oh yeah, you know, he's on it. Yeah,
yeah.
And see, that's why you should have been live streaming that behind the scenes show, or at least recorded it to play later.
I did record it, but no. What was in the private stream
stays in private chat. But indeed, not that there was anything bad, but again, it was just us kind of having some camaraderie while the other parts of the show were going on, and just kind of and part of it was for the artist to kind of get jacked up. You know, Emperism was there.
Because here's what I thought. Like here's what I thought with Jimmy's show, which is my favorite thing about going to Camp Jime is in between the songs when we all talk.
Yes.
And my most favorite thing is when the show's over and Jime leaves and we're still in the stream together. We'll hang out for hours and just bullshit. So when I heard Stonerfest and like, what do you mean there's no panel? What the hell? What am I going to do? Go and chat? Oh, so I was like, guys, let's create a private stream so at least we can watch the show together and still be able to talk. So yeah, that's what we did.
Yep, indeed. Bless you, Hugh Caldwell. Thank you. That's such a nice compliment.
Hey, what's going on, Al?
But honestly, this is the idea for this whole show, folks. If you haven't figured that out, we would get after the show and just BS with one another. And we thought, wouldn't it be fun to take the BS session and just, share it with everybody? So that's what we're doing. And you're all invited.
Yeah. And I keep forgetting I keep saying we're going to post the link. So if anybody wanted to come hang out with us, they can.
And we forgot.
And I forgot twice. Well, but actually we've had guests on almost the whole time.
Yeah, indeed. And we're closing in on the 2 hour mark.
I had, I don't know if it's any news. So after Jade performed, I wrote her an email to just say how fucking phenomenal. I mean, it was moving. It was like, oof. And then I said that, Chris and I were talking, and we think, your music should be a musical. Like, I could totally see a Jade musical, like on Broadway. Because and then what she said was that she has her new album coming out, and it's kind of written that way. So I'm like really excited to listen, because if it's a musical, it has to have an arc. The reason why I like concept albums, because they're telling one story. So I think that would be like really cool.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, just her production and how she approaches is just made for Broadway. And of course, she has experience doing that. She's
Hmm.
trained in that respect, so it comes across a little bit. And yeah, Dom and I were like, "Man, let's make it a show."
Yeah, it was really
But
good.
indeed, yeah, that's so. I mean, to your point, Chad, what an action-packed Saturday.
Yeah.
Hippie, you, Stoner Fest. There was probably something going on after that, but I was tired.
Yeah.
You're
I
right.
was
It
done after.
was literally music for something live was in the community was happening for like 12 to 15 hours
Yeah,
straight.
yeah, over a half a day.
Yeah. So that's pretty incredible, in and of itself. And I spent a decent amount of time in every show. It was kind of funny on Chad's show. We literally had to like, Brad, no, you have to go. Like, you have like 10 minutes. And Brad was like, yeah, okay. And then he slayed it, man, when he played.
Yeah.
But it was kind of
That's
like,
why I
Brad,
couldn't come because I know myself and I get really involved in it. And so I was in hippies to a point. It's like, and I'm watching the clock. I was like, all right, be out, get ready.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And I knew if I'd gone into Chad's thing, I would have been sucked into that. And then,
Mhm.
then I have to quick turn it around and do the other thing. And then I know
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, that was the thing
multitask.
with Brad. I thought he was just going to be in and out, and even you stayed longer than I thought, but it worked great. So
Yeah, it was very cool. And according to G, chatting with him a little bit, Stoner Fest 2 is absolutely happening in about a month. And he is
nice.
contacting artists. And so we're going to do it again. And hopefully, if I get my sound figured out, I will be playing the second
Hey,
one.
does anyone know who Devo's Weed is? Or
I
should
do
just...
not know Devo. Does anybody in the chat know Devo?
No, it seems a little suspect, the word. So I'm looking at it. I don't think we have a moderator.
Upstate Audits. I don't know.
Yeah.
Devo Weed.
Well,
Yeah,
my
apologize.
thing is
We
anyone
don't know you, bro.
anyone who asks someone from New York for help just think they either got to be scamming or crazy.
Yeah, well, the New York attitude. I don't quite have that attitude, but I'm certainly look at people.
Well, I
carefully.
believe this. I believe this, that if good friends know when they need help, and they don't wait for them to ask, they're just there. So, that's when people ask, it makes me go, why they ask? But again, I'm just a weirdo New Yorker, and I think everyone is like the devil. It's a terrible thing.
Well, no, I had a very good friend of mine in college, Fred Steinfurt, and Fred was from Rochester, New York, and came out to Durango, Colorado to go to college. Why? Who knows why? I mean, talk about a fish out of water. But we would walk around and we would go. He was a baseball fan, as I was at the time, and we took a road trip one time and went and caught the Royals and the Chicago Cubs and the White Sox. We watched the Broncos play the Packers, et cetera, et cetera. And we'd go in these cities and walk around, and he would go, "Why do you look at people? Don't look at people." And I'm like, "That's what we do out west. We look people in the eye." And he goes, "In New York, that'll get you killed." And I said, "Well, in the West, if you don't look people in the eye, then we don't trust you."
What's funny, so in our place in Pennsylvania, there's a lot of New Yorkers there. But in the 80s, this place was like sold primarily like out on Long Island, which is how my parents got it and how I knew about it. But when you go to like Ace Hardware, you can tell all the New Yorkers because they're all in line like this. Because the cashier is talking to every customer like just cut the shit, go man, just go. I got shit I gotta do. We're so wound tight, but just can't help it. And but then when you get up to them, now suddenly, hey, bye-bye, and then you're having all the same conversations. But man, when you're waiting in that line, it was just there's not a place for speaking. Just hand over your merchandise and pay. So I see the entire world that way all the time. It's terrible.
Well, it's I've always lived out west, born and raised here, so yeah, we look at it. For me, traveling back east is a different cultural experience because they have strange ways from my upbringing.
Right. Yeah. That's what like one of the fun things of being in the Army when you're a kid in basic training. I was 17, and you're meeting people really pretty much for the first time of your life from all over the country.
Yeah.
Wow. And you really learn fast. Well, no, the world is a lot more diverse than the couple of blocks around your house growing up.
Yep. Texans ain't Californians, who ain't New Yorkers, who ain't Alaskans, who ain't, Iowans. It's a big country, and we're all.
Well, I was like,
all
the
different.
only thing I found was like, oh, we all like to party. That's all right. So it was,
hey. Well, and you know what? That's an overarching, man. I mean, talk about difference in musical styles and all the things in this community. We're all so different, and yet we all come together under a common cause.
It's because it's right.
We love music.
It's
and
those
we have respect for one
instances
another.
when the thing the group is bound to is bigger than they are themselves. So right in the military it was the whole thing of being in this with all these people who decided the same dumb decision you made, that you were going to join the Army, and now so you're really bound by that. We're all fucking stupid. And so that is bigger than your differences. And just like in the music community, you may not like every kind of music, but you have an overwhelming respect for it, no matter what kind of music people make and where they are in their journey musically. Because it's just so much bigger than where you're from or what kind of music it is. That's what I like about it.
I absolutely agree. It has been fantastic to, join this worldwide, literally, community. And, I mean, people living everywhere and just different mindsets.
Guys, I just have to remove myself for a second. All right.
Yeah.
I'll be
All
right
right.
back.
Go right ahead. Yeah. I think he's got to sneeze or blow his nose, which happens. Why don't you take a second and tell us what's coming up on your channel here a little bit, Chad?
Well, I mean, let's see.
I know you got big stuff.
Well, yeah, I do in the future, but for like right now, like Saturday is just going to be like my normal show. And it's going to be that way for some time, but I do have some special. Let me pull up my schedule real quick here. And I've got some of these already scheduled.
Right.
So I've definitely, the next one, is it the rap one? Let me pull this up.
It's either rap or Michael Jackson, right?
Here we go. Okay. So yes. So August 5th is the Hip Hop Hooray Show, which is Ham celebrates Rap's 50th birthday, which Rap turns 50 in August. And then August 26th, which is Michael Jackson's birthday, is on the 29th. It's a few days before then. It's Remember the Time, a celebration of Michael Jackson. Then in September 23rd, I'm doing a grunge show. It's called Dark and Distorted, or Ham D&D is the short one. And then in October, I'm doing another punk show. That one is it's called Ham Incognito, and the reason is it's a take on the Germs album, which was GI, which stood for Germs Incognito, because they used GI as their like alias to play gigs, because they got banned from playing several places.
I vaguely remember that.
And then October 28th, I'm going to do a Halloween show. And then December 2nd, I'm going to be doing a Britney Spears celebration, which December 2nd is her birthday. So I just like to take themes and like build a show around it in some way, around some sort of like, a time reason for it, whether it be a birthday or an album or what have you. So, and people are welcome to, people are welcome to do, to submit songs of like originals or covers in whatever style. Of course, if it's Brittany or Michael, we're doing all covers of them. And what I like to do is go, try to get the community that is already in place involved, and then reach outside of that to try to pull potentially people into the community. And it's a good way to find, new artists, and also hopefully new fans that are specifically looking for whatever, the show is. So, I thought the punk one went really well. And my idea with these is not necessarily hoping that, 50 or 60 people are necessarily watching in chat, but that people can rewatch it, that it's a concept that they can just put on and listen to or watch later, and that people can kind of stumble across it. And then that helps, find new fans, new musicians, whatever, into the community.
Right. Well, I got to compliment you on that. That was the one thing as I was going through the replay, that your production, your video production, and how the show flowed was very smooth, very professional. It was very enjoyable to watch because it was, like we were talking about in Stonerfest, it was tight for live. Right. Your show was really tight. Boom, 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 went through, and there wasn't, dead spots or laggy bits. It really was well done.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I will say the one thing you can't control are the guests, especially if you're having them talk. So it did go a little over, because I was intended to get out in 2 hours, but it was because of the interaction with the three guests and myself. But all of that is good stuff. So it's not like, the fact that it did go over a little, again, hoping for replays more so than the people that are there watching it anyway. I think I can tighten things up a little bit though in the future and know really what to expect. So.
Yeah, and that's certainly is to be expected. You get some musicians on and you get talking about music, like with Mike earlier. Right. Hey, we got passion for it and we get excited, and we want to chat.
Right. So. And that's my thing, is that I like to plan things tight as is, and then throw in talking, because I'm not a big talker, but then throw in talkers, and then it like kind of goes out the window a little. So, but no, it went great.
Indeed. Well, it was just fun. And I think probably, of course, Hippie took part of May off. Now, it's funny because Hippie didn't take nearly as much May off as he said he was going to take off.
Right.
I kept seeing him pop up. It's like, I thought you were on vacation or something, Hippie. But I think it will slow down a little bit this summer. Dom and I already mentioned that we will not be doing this show on June 30th. Because we'll both be out of town for 4th of July celebrations and such, and then we'll return the following week. And I know, of course, Clay's in chat now, and Clay is going to be pulling back a little bit because he's not going to be doing the multi-streams, and then he's not doing the road shows for part of the summer. as his situation is a little fluid with his wife's job and such. So that's why we wanted to have this segment with Chad to keep everybody informed so that they didn't miss something that was going on or were aware. For instance, Mr. Smith is working on his new studio, and so he is not live streaming currently on Tuesdays as he was. And he says he's planning on being back in about 30 days, but so he's on a little bit of a hiatus.
One thing then on my regular show that I do that I had been working on, and I'll modify it a little here and there, but basically to close out the show, I do have a schedule that basically brings up, this person's name, and
beautiful.
Then, but that's the thing, is that there are a lot of things that are not like regular, like Ron's show, for example. I never know when he's gonna do his show.
And here's there are things neither does Ron.
Yeah, that's what makes the Ron show.
But I include them in there, and I just put an asterisk because it's just like, hey, especially for people that don't know, that are like somehow stumbled onto the show, don't know about that's more of what the schedule that I'm doing is for the people that are kind of new to the community, and then they can see all of the stuff that's actually out there. There's tons and tons of shows and people doing shows and things like that. And then we'll definitely have Saturdays like that where there's like all this different stuff overlapping. It's just, there's no way to map it out to where people aren't, kind of overlapping in that way. It's a good thing. It gives variety and gives, people options. And then, like I said, my goal with what I'm doing is I definitely want to not necessarily be a show that's all about the interaction, hopefully more so in line with something that would have been a produced like TV, MTV or whatever show where it's sometimes we'll have segments or things like that, but it's like with that one, I really enjoyed doing the opening credits. All my theme shows will be doing some sort of like opening credits like that.
But that was cool because that was really well done. It really set the stage for the show. Like, okay, cool, I'm going to watch this.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and you got to have a thing, we know people hit YouTube and they might watch for a minute or two and then they wander off and do something else because the attention span of a gerbil. You hit them with an intro like that, it's like, okay, damn, this is for real. I'm going to stay and watch this.
Right. Now, the multi-stream is happening. It's just it's the last Friday. I don't think he's taken any time off from that. It's just every last Friday.
Yeah, I didn't say that right. Thank you for correcting me on that because you're right. He's just he's not doing it every week now. He's going to have his quote unquote normal Friday that we're used to, and then the multi-stream that last Friday. Which and again, both shows are great.
Siri, make a note. It is June 9th, 12:02 a.m. Chris just admitted in public that he was wrong about something. Okay.
Again, there's, if you pay attention, you can watch history happen before your eyes. It's never happened before. It will likely never happen again. But
it does not happen often.
No. But when I am wrong, I ain't shy about saying, nope, blew that one. So
that's funny.
I like the idea y'all mentioned about having this be just like more of an open panel for people of the community, like especially that after you get done with that first segment for like the last half of the show. Yeah.
Well, because we have so many interesting people in the community, and so we're still trying to figure out. We haven't really done it yet because, like you got the link much earlier and everything, so we're still a little more structured. We're building this airplane while we're flying it, folks. So just throwing a link out there, people that have been doing it for a while can do that. They know how to do it. We're still learning, so people hopefully will be a little bit patient with us on that as we kind of figure out the best ways to do some of this sort of thing.
Right. Yeah. No, and that'll be a cool thing because people coming up, there's going to be other people that know things that other people don't know and that sort of thing. So like as far as like talking about news of the community and things like that. So
Right. Man, I had that thought and about something, and it was like me playing Faded, 2 months
And it's
ago
just
on GB.
gone.
It's gone,
You-
just left my head. It's
from here to there, it just
yeah,
evaporated.
it went out this year or something, and the
Uh,
cat's playing with it in the corner. I don't know what's going on with it. Yeah, I was going to
No,
say
there.
something about the
You,
shows,
you
but
know,
doggone it.
Chad, when Chris and I talked about this, I mean, we have very lofty ideas,
mhm.
but we have no time or talent. Well,
Right.
Chris has some of the talent, um, but I
Not the
mean,
technology.
yeah, not the technology, right? All the time. If Chris and I who were to somehow go into like that booth, in the Fly,
And
if
meld.
we could meld into one person, we would be unstoppable.
That'd be one hairy dude, though. I mean,
Yeah,
let's.
it'd be-
I mean,
uh,
oh wow, there's a visual for you, folks. Sorry. Hopefully you've eaten already.
I have. Um, yeah. Now, I don't know where the hell I was. Oh,
Well, we
so
were talking about future segments and things
yeah,
that we talked about that we're planning on doing, and we're getting there. But
Chris and I, our idea is to turn this almost into like an SNL kind of thing. Like we've talked about like doing different but we have to produce them and film them and it's
Right.
the right now it's fun to talk about doing them, but just can't do them right now. But
yeah,
we think there's all kinds of things we could do if if people want to keep hanging out
yeah,
and we like
absolutely.
it. So and then the other thing he said, we just looked at all the cool elements of all the different shows and like let's do like a little bit of like a hodgepodge and of anything, so we could just do anything kind of thing. Like
Right.
we don't want to if we don't have someone's song to play. By the way, if anyone's here and they do have a song they would like to have a real in-depth conversation about with two other music geeks, then email one of us and we can do your song, one of your songs. We'd have to pick the song. We'd have
Yeah.
because we want to make sure it's not that you pick a bad song, but
Well, just one
we
that,
like it to be a surprise to you.
yeah, a little bit of a surprise to you, and and something that we know and we can talk about intelligently instead of
Right.
going,
Hmm.
oh,
Yeah,
what just
because
happened?
Chris and I did actually have the conversation. Mike was very excited when we just randomly started talking about something else, and I had mentioned it because we liked how it was with Mike Molino, and he was like super excited. And then he was like, "Oh, and I have a new song, and you can put it on." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, that sounds cool." And then after he was gone, I was like, "I don't know, Chris.
Yeah.
I
What
don't
if
know
this
how I
song?
feel about poaching someone else's song." Kind of thing.
Yeah,
But it
exactly.
was a great tune. So
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. And obviously,
hey,
if your name
Logan.
is Mike, you've got a really good shot at being our guest on the song because
Well, that's
Yeah,
what I was thinking too. Yeah.
100% of all our guests are Mike's.
so you may
I
have to
actually,
change your name.
yeah.
Be prepared for that.
Well, he's not a guest.
Well, no, not
He's
Chad. I just mean future
he's
other
right.
people.
Hmm.
If he wants to send us a song, that's great. But he's now Mike Caldwell.
It doesn't strike me as a Mike.
No.
What's going on, Al? What oh, know what else I feel we have to do this. So Chris and I had talked about it. So I had this one idea. I won't say what the idea was. But like we say, this is the SWA Happy Hour, and it's just not the happy hour for us if Naya isn't involved. So I want to ask her to actually contribute to the show because she loves making videos and stuff. And if we can come up with like a thing and to have her be able to just do that, because I want her on the show, because she is the third of Songwriters Anonymous.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Our friend, colleague, and just general buddy.
Real, is that what that means, Lord Spike? When you get trolls, that means you are garnering attention. Well, I'm very pleased then. I thoroughly enjoyed just hitting that little button. It said ban. I'm like, I think that was great.
Yeah, well, I'm glad Don was, because I was powerless. Again, we don't know these guys, and they might have been okay, but but maybe not. And
well, here is the way the New Yorkers thinks. If a person I know if a person I've never met says they want to do something with me, that's a no. That is a no. 100%. I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. If you want to do something with me, if you don't think like me, you got to be pretty weird. You must have some kind of ulterior motive. So I would never blindly try to include myself into like something I wasn't invited to. So
yeah, indeed.
Again, that's
and
just
again,
me.
it's very situational.
I'm learning. I'm learning, especially through the great help of my wife, that I am often wrong and kind of crazy.
But you don't know. When Marshall's house burned and everything, community helped him out. We knew Marshall, and so that was not a big stretch. He'd been on YouTube. We knew who he was. We knew that this wasn't. He never asked for shit. It just everybody wanted to help him because he was a good guy, and so that's a different situation. And here I'm reading the chat, and of course, he was either his middle name is Michael or he's a giant smartass. Either way, I love it.
So he definitely can be a guest. So
yeah. Talking about what you just talked about, right? So you are supposed to do good deeds for the good deed itself. I truly believe that.
Oh, absolutely.
When you do a good deed, you expect nothing. My problem comes in when people position you to do a good deed for them, or to do a good deed. It's not a good deed if you're asked to do it. Like, a good deeds come from a different place. So just to back the story up, one time after my parents got divorced, my dad married another woman who had kids relatively my sister and I's age. We were never really close or anything like that. I mean, we were all adults when they got remarried. And one time, one of the kids called me out of the blue. And told me that he got in a car accident and blah, 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 blah. And he asked to borrow money from me. My first thought was he called his mother. His mother gave him my phone number, right? So that was my first thought, which I immediately didn't like. Like, she should call. Anyway, so, I mean, I was doing okay, but, loaning, I couldn't do it out of goodwill. And I explained this to him. I said, listen, dude, man, if I help you, like, it could put a hurting on me. Like, if I give to you, it's not like I have a vault of money. I have a limited funds like everybody. Maybe it's a little more, maybe it's a little less, but that's what I'm used to having. And once you're used to having it, that your life revolves around it, especially in a place like New York, So I said, I can help you. But by God, please. Like, he was like, I will pay you. I'm back. I was like, please, whatever you do, don't ever have to make me come ask for it. I said, because it's not going to be good. And 6 months later, when he never fucking paid me a dime, I went absolutely ballistic, because now, in like people like, some would say, well, you're wrong, like, no, I wasn't wrong. I told this guy, I'm not in a position to give you money, but you're asking me for it. So I feel like I have to help you, but I am putting a little thing on it, like I expect this and this and this and this. And if you couldn't have done it, you should have said, no, I can't, you know? So I felt I was like perfectly in my right to tell him and his whole family what I think of them.
Indeed. Well,
Um,
I'm over in the chat and I'm laughing because there's some funny stuff going on. Logan said, I want to come on the panel and do a beard off. Chris will kick my ass with hair, but I look like Gandalf. And you know, I mean, you got Chad's beard. My beard is no slouch. Dom's got a great beard. So yeah, that might be fun to have people on. If you got a Gandalf beard, that's pretty awesome.
You got to
And
have
then I
the blue
saw
unicorn
pole vault.
in on that.
Let's see. Let's put Logan's.
Preston's got to be involved with that.
Okay,
Yeah,
Logan.
indeed. And
Okay,
then pole
Logan.
vault. Maybe I should use a different name. How about pole dancer? Man, bro, you break me up.
All right, there it is, Logan. If you want to come up and show your beard show,
Yeah.
I will not. I will not bring anyone up if I don't know who the hell they are. I'm just saying that.
Yeah, and that's we danced around it, but let's come right out and say it. If we know you and we know you're cool, you know, you would be welcome on the panel. If we don't know you, it's
Or if we don't know
not.
you well enough, right? Like
Yeah.
if I haven't seen you, I may have talked to you, but if I haven't actually seen you, I don't know you.
Well,
Ah,
obviously,
here.
when you're doing a show, you're more comfortable with people you've seen.
All right, here we go. Are you ready, Mr. Logan? All right,
Let's go. Let's
is
have it.
Mr. Logan Sandman. What is going on, brother?
Holy shit!
Wait,
Yes.
you shall not pass.
You are like a Chad Friedman, Chris Lane Senior hybrid.
Too good. Too good.
Oh, cheers, man.
Well
Hey,
done.
thanks for having me up, guys.
No, it's great. And
pleasure.
epic beard. I wish there was a way I
Well,
could show the
thank
picture.
you.
That's a good beard, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? This crap I haven't cut since 2016.
Well, that's pretty good, man.
This I've cut twice.
Yeah. I cut mine actually
Hey,
frequently.
look, the last time I cut it was because the girlfriend said no.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's why I don't cut my hair, because if I did, my wife would kill me. Beard, I trim. And,
Chris,
and
I
here's-
told you you'd beat me on hair, but I actually think I got the beard.
Oh no, man, that beard is epic.
Well,
I
I don't
did
know if you
have-
have Chad's beard though. I don't know. Turn to the side, Chad. Let's
Yeah,
see.
Chad, dude.
Mine's just not straight. That's what I don't like about it. It's all.
Oh,
It's
hey,
impressive
Chad,
beard though.
Chad,
Yeah.
seriously,
hmm
show me the neck beard.
Okay.
One of us needs a razor.
Awesome. I knew that it was time to really trim down my beard when I was in Croatia and we were touring the Jewish section in Dubrovnik. And an old Jewish guy came up to me and he said, "So, how old are you?" And at that time I was, I don't know, 56 or 57. And I told him my age. He goes, "That's a good beard." I thought, okay, the old Jewish guy, I liked my beard, but it was just too much heat. So
that is often what happens to me. I have this point where I go from kind of looking like an Italian. If my hair gets too long, I get like these things.
little four
and
locks.
I totally look like I'm in rabbinical.
Wait, little white things like this.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But with my complexion, I get to be looking like a whole other type of
God, I
person.
keep having to put my hair back.
Yeah. See here, we've this was a segment that we talked about doing, grooming tips or hair. So let me clue you guys in, because I know
I
people
wanted no part of this, by the way. That's what
wanted
Lori
to.
Miss
Well, but
wants,
people
snacks
give
and
the
tracks
people what
so
they
far.
want, and people were asking for my hair tips.
This is
So here's my
not a
hair
grooming
tip.
tip.
No, don't do that. My hair tip is wash your friggin' hair and have great genetics. My mother has, she's 84 and her hair looks like this. That's my tip. Yeah, have good genetics.
All right,
great genetics.
Jeez. I think I have very terrible genetics.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings panel. That's true.
Lord of the Rings panel. You did.
Way to go, Hugh.
We're here today at the live broadcasting for the next Gandalf.
Yeah, if I pull my hair around like the one guy, but I'm not a big Lord of the Rings.
Well, you could fill like many roles. They need a new Hagrid. You guys could fill many roles in the world.
Drew's got that. Or Chad's got that one down pat, man.
Hey, Lord Spike Protein, how do you think you get the girls' attention?
Yeah, don't be jealous, Lord Spike. Remind me of chicks. In what way? I mean,
I can do the whole thing.
Yeah. Now, see, don't wave the red handkerchief in front of the bulls, Lord Spike. That's we'll go there. Anyway.
No kidding, man. I'm over 50. You don't think I know how to flirt?
Well, you've got me intrigued.
Oh boy.
Got to meet my girlfriend. She actually shows up in side chats sometimes.
Nice. Hey, what's going on, David Devine? That's it, David Devine broadcasted. How you doing, pal? Good to see you.
There you go.
He loves the beard segment.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's
going to be a new one.
Yeah, conspiracy. I could dress up like Harry Pothead. Yeah, there you go.
You should do that. I would like to see that, Clay.
There's a Halloween costume for you.
I don't think I ever wore it, Clay, because I thought it was silly in the end. But what did I wear it right when we began? Remember when we did the SWA show on a conspiracy channel?
Yeah.
Did I start with a tinfoil hat? I don't remember if I did because I remember you talking about it.
I actually have.
No, we talked about it, but I don't think you did it.
Aluminum foil deflector beanie.
Yeah. Lord Spike, you didn't hurt our feelings.
Don't make me get up and go get it.
So you're good.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well, I did for a couple years. I answered the door, and obviously with my look, people tell me all the time I look like the dude from The Big Lebowski. So I would answer the door holding a White Russian in my bathrobe, and the kids would yell trick or treat, and I'd say, "Well, dude, that's just like your opinion, man." And I did that for a couple years, but the kids didn't get it, and mostly the parents were younger, and they didn't get it either. And it's like I'm wasting my time. I'm casting my pearls among swine. So, oh well.
Well, I'm gonna take off.
All right, Chad. Thank you very much.
But thank you for having me on.
Yeah. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks again with some more news. We are probably going to wind the show down here pretty quick ourselves because we're rapidly approaching the 2.5-hour mark. Which, we're literally a couple minutes away. So
I'm tired. Logan, you ready to say goodnight, my friend?
Can I say it's completely Conspiracy Music's fault that I found you guys? And
yes.
He is.
We blame him for a lot of shit.
Yeah, for a lot of
most
shit,
of it good.
My life was so peaceful and calm before I met Conspiracy Music.
Yep.
And all his crazy ideas.
Yeah.
But it's a lot more fun now. So.
And he just put in the side chat I could dress up like Harry Pothead.
Yeah.
All right. Conspiracy is flirting with me now.
Indeed. Woo!
Yes, the beard rolls. All right, folks, we are going to say goodnight.
Thank our guests, Mike Kagath, for coming on, Chad Freeman, and Logan Sandman for joining us.
Logan, thank you for having me up. Showing you a beer. All right, everyone.
All right. We'll see y'all next week. Be well, everybody.
All right, bye.